Ibrahim Traore is the president of Burkina Faso and he's about 36 years, according to the last time I knew. So this man, each time I watch him, doing so many good things about his country, I'm always very excited because, for our, people of our age bracket to be doing well and leading a whole country is such great strength. So I looked at all he's been doing. For some reasons, I just heard in my spirit, this man needs to be very careful so that they don't unalive him. And guess what happened? A news just broke that a group of people came into his country. I don't know if they reside in his country or they traveled all the way from outside his country. And we're planning to, unalive him via a coup. And they brought in money, hard currency, which is almost about $6,000 if converted. And they brought the money in suitcases. And I don't know for how I just felt it in my spirit that this man should be careful so that they don't unalive him. Now, because he decided that he will not give to, he doesn't give, he doesn't care about the West. He went into other places that he could get help, you could partner with, which is China, I think Russia or thereabout. But he didn't go to the West, he didn't care about whatever they wanted to do because he felt that these other two people had less interest about his country. So these people came in boldly with suitcases, with hard money, plenty of money. And you know that if they do wire transfer, people could trace it. So they decided to come in hard currencies. And this goes to show that I tell people this all the time. Africa is so blessed that we have so much to give. And the people in the West, the other people have seen it. And they will do anything to take over Africa if we are not careful. And that is why I keep telling our government, I keep telling every leader that cares to listen, every politician that cares to listen, that we should do it right. Because if we do it right, we would not, get to a point where we'll get twisted into this whole mess. Africa is blessed. I don't even want to talk about Nigeria because Nigeria is another blessing entirely. Africa is super blessed. For countries in Africa, that's a continent Africa, the countries in it have so many natural resources that if harnessed properly, we don't need the West. Do you understand? So you see, it could be that there are people who are outside this country who are really, really trying to unalive him, to put people who will do their bidding. Because when they came out and said, oh, our country will not do this again, our country will not travel out again, our country will stay inside, they will train them, will retrain them to become better so that nobody takes them out of the country to treat them as slaves. He made all those things, and then somebody had the boldness to come offer money. I'm sure the people even collected the money just to show to the president as proof that, see you, this is what they were planning. That money is more than $6,000. And how do you want to now unalive somebody for $6,000? How much is $6,000? What can $6,000 buy? Maybe in your country, yes, they could buy something, but oh my God. How do people just sit down and think and look at another person and want to remove the person from planet Earth? How do people just sit down and reason this whole madness? This is really, really, really sad. It's really sad. Wow. Please, guys, people should allow, Ibrahim Traore to do what he's supposed to do. Because when he does these things, his country will do well. Because he overthrew another government that were not doing the right thing. He overthrew them because he couldn't sit down to watch what was happening. And when he took over, this is the kind of president that was going to different houses to, check out people who were having challenges. He went to so many places when the people who were hungry, he fed them. People who needed jobs, he gave jobs. He has asked questions about misappropriation of funds, that why should he give money to people to build hospitals or maybe for education, and a few people will sit down and squander the money. And you all know that is a challenge most African leaders have. Let me not say African leaders generally. Most African leaders have that problem where they will just gather and keep gathering. Even when they are dying bed, they are gathering all for their children, because they don't want their children's children to their 18th generation. They don't want them to ever get poor. But can't they just allow them to do what will make, can't they allow them work? So you find out that you who is born and you are not born with a silver spoon, you are still struggling and finding out life will be better. At the end of the day, when you unalive yourself, people will be like, oh, the person was not strong. Why would they unalive themselves? You forget that your pain threshold is different from another person's pain threshold. I like this president, Ibrahim Traore. I like him so much because he's very focused, he's energetic, he knows what he wants, he knows what he's doing. He's all out to ensure that the people of Burkina Faso are doing great. He's all out to ensure that he's doing well for his people. He's not that kind of person that is concerned about big cars, big family size, big eating too big, bigger than what you are working for. It's not like some countries where their president is busy blaring siren, going up and down, doing nothing. You know, traveling more than they are around in the country they are supposed to be governing. You know, since Ibrahim Traore took over, I've not heard that he traveled to the UK or traveled to America to go and seek support or to go and, you know, get medical attention. I haven't heard that. It shows that he's a guy who is ready to ensure that he puts his people out there for good. And he has said that in one video I did, that his people will not travel anymore to go and be doing menial jobs and be paid peanuts, while the people that they live in their country are living in affluence. So basically, I thought of this man the other day. I'm like, this man is really working hard. He should be careful so that they don't unalive him, not knowing that there was already a plot on ground to double his government and unalive him. For how much? A little above $6,000. That is a joke. That is a serious joke. And I feel that, like people were saying on that comment section, that they should protect this man with all they can. They should protect him at all costs. Ibrahim Traore is an international treasure. He should be protected at all costs. And because you know all of these people left ECOWAS now will not care. Whatever happens to them, they will not care. Do you understand? He left because they didn't see what ECOWAS was really doing for them. Mali also left. Niger also left. Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, they also left. Because they didn't understand what was really going on. Why should they be in a government that is not, you know, do you get that the ECOWAS people are not doing what they're supposed to do? Every time they will go do sitting, when they do their sitting and come back, nothing is adding up. So they got tired and decided that they were going to leave. So that's basically it. My heart goes out to this man, and I pray that God keeps him alive. Nobody should unalive him. He's somebody's husband. He's somebody's child. Imagine a 36-year-old. You already know his mother is maybe in her 50s, maybe in her late 50s, or maybe she's 60 years if she got married early. For some people who got married early, maybe at 20, at 56 or 57, her child is 36 years. So you see? So it's a whole lot of, you know, mixed feelings having to see somebody who is working hard. Is it that in Africa, most politicians or most leaders don't want to see someone who come out and do well? Because it's beginning to sound like that. Once you are doing well, they want to unalive you. And then when you are doing bad, nobody is planning to unalive you. This is even the strangest part of it. There are countries in Africa that their presidents are not doing well. They are not even supposed to live on a normal day. But they leave them. They don't even unalive them. But you see those ones that are doing well, they either remove you from government or they unalive you or plan to unalive you. It's so sad. And I think this should be discouraged. And I want to give kudos to those guys who are working with the president. And you know, for some reason that day I was saying, these guys are working with this president. You should be careful with them. Because me, I don't know. I thought, you should just be careful out there. But how careful can he always be? Being that he needs all these people around him, how careful can he always be? But we just have to thank God that the people they gave this money to unalive Ibrahim Traore, they didn't do that. Because it is shocking to see that a young man who is working so hard, somebody will wake up one morning and want to unalive him. It's shocking, it's traumatizing. These soldiers brought the three guys into the government house. They lured them in and told them, don't worry, we are going to hatch this plan. They brought them in. And you know that in Africa, most African countries, if you want to get a job done, a shady job, just give them money and they will do it. But these guys, soldiers, were so smart. They brought in the guy and that's how they arrested them. Shame on bad people. Shame on bad